Good morning, Year 7. So we're going to continue on from the multiplication of fractions we did yesterday. Some questions will have the word of in them. Of means times. It means we multiply. So we're just going to go through this one first. Remember, when we're doing something like a quarter times 28, the whole number, you can give a denominator of 1, 2. So just write it as 28 over 1. Times your tops, times your bottoms, and you get 28 over 4. Then we're doing 28 divided by 4, and 4 goes into 28 7 times, so that's your answer. So if a question says this, 5/12 of 12, the of is telling you to multiply. So we're doing 5/12 times 12, but remember the whole number has a denominator of 1, times your tops, times your bottoms, and you get 60 over 12. Then do your division. 60 divided by 12 equals 5. On the next one, we have a half of $42. The of means times. So we're writing a half times 42. It doesn't have a fraction, so we're putting 1 underneath it. Times your tops, times your bottoms, and you get 42 over 2. Do your division. 42 divided by 2 equals 21. If you need to do the working for that on the side, just write it down. 2 into 4 goes twice, 2 into 2 goes 1. Don't forget on that question that it does have units. It's got dollars, so we have to put the dollar sign in front of it. This next one is a little bit harder. So we've got a quarter of $1.20. Of means times. $1.20, I know it's not a whole number, but we can still give it a denominator of 1 if it doesn't have a denominator. We still times our tops and bottoms, so we're going to get 1.20 on the top and 4 on the bottom. So now we're going to do the division. Now I know this is not a topic on decimals, but it does all overlap at some point. So we've got $1.20, 1.20 divided by 4. 4 into 1 won't go, so we put a 0. Keep your decimal point lined up. Then we're doing 4 into 12 goes 3, and 4 into 0 goes 0. So we end up with 0.30. Don't forget to put the dollars in front. Over here at number 5, we're doing 5/6 of $3. The of does mean times. So we're doing 5/6 times 3. Give it a denominator of 1 because it doesn't have a denominator. Times your tops and times your bottoms, you get 15 over 6. Then we're doing our division. Now on this one, we're doing 15 divided by 6, but I know we're dealing with money. So with money, with dollars, we have to have 2 decimal places. So I know that this is a decimal that probably is going to need a little bit more work. So when we do 15 divided by 6, just make the 15.000. We need to go to the 3rd decimal place in case we've got extra digits still going. And then we'll be rounding to do 2 decimal places for money. So 6 into 15 goes twice. Keep your decimal point there. Remainder 3. 6 into 30 goes 5 times. And really that's it. We've finished. There's no remainder. But we do need to have 2 decimal places for money. So we're going to write our answer with the dollar sign and as 2.50, which you all know is $2.50. All right, the next question, number 6. We're finding a quarter of 2 hours. The answer has to be in minutes. So when we start this, we're going to write it as a quarter times 2 hours, but we're going to change those hours to minutes now because otherwise it's a lot harder to do it later. So to go from hours to minutes, we're going to a smaller unit. Minutes are smaller than hours. So when we go to a smaller unit, we always multiply. The number of minutes in an hour is 60. So we want to do 2 times 60 to get that 120 minutes. Then we're going to continue with our question. So there's no denominator, so we're going to give it a denominator of 1, times your tops, times your bottoms, and you get 120 over 4. Now we're going to do this division. 120 divided by 4. Come over here and do it. 4 into 1 won't go. 4 into 12 goes 3 times. And then 4 into 0 goes nothing. Our answer is 30. And it's minutes, remember, because we changed it to minutes. So write your minutes down. All right, number 7. Find 1/5 of a year, but the answer has to be in days this time. So we're going to do a fifth times of 1 year, but before we go any further, we're changing that 1 year to days. So years to days, days are much smaller than a year, so we're going to do a smaller unit, so we're timesing by 365 because there's 365 days in a year. So we've done that times that equals that. So then we're continuing with our multiplying of fractions. Give that a denominator of 1 times your tops and times your bottoms, and you get 365 over 5. We're now going to do that division, 365 divided by 5. And if you go over there and do it, it becomes 73. We had our last units to be days, so we're going to keep days on our answer. This next question, I'm only halfway through it, but I'll go through this part of it. In a squad of 45 swimmers, 3 out of every 5 were female. How many are female? So we're going to find 3 out of every 5 means 3 over 5, 3/5. So we're finding 3/5 of 45. That's 3/5 times 45. Give it a denominator of 1 because it doesn't have a denominator, times your tops and times your bottoms. I've done the 3 times 45, or the 45 times 3 over here, so the answer is 135, and 5 times 1 is 5. So that division now is 135 divided by 5, and if you do the division over there, you get 27 females in the squad. I'll come back in a minute and do the second part of this question.